So I feel like that's a description of how the chariot would look.
Now pause. Before I even started all this, I told you your whole interpretation has to be proven by Ezekiel 1, and you denied that, and then now you're going here. You find that funny?
No. I said that's not the. I said that's not the only scripture I would go to say, that's talking about chariots. Period. I mean, talking about chariots. Yeah.
But I said, in order for you, listen, I can repeat the same words I say without extra words. I can literally say the same statement I said. I said, in order for you to describe that a chariot or a cloud looks like what you call a UFO, you would have to subscribe to the description being in Ezekiel 1. And you denied that. And now, yet, when I ask you, describe what a will mean to you, to your understanding, you're going to Ezekiel 1. You understand?
No, I understand what you're saying. I know because you said I forgot what you said. No, you're right on that. I got another one giving you a physical look, a physical, representation of how the chariot will actually look.
But what about in 103, Psalms 104 and 3?
Psalms 140. I told you we got different interpretations on it.
Right, but it says he maketh the clouds his chariot, which the word chariot means vehicle. It says he made the clouds his vehicle.
So what would you say that's talking about?
That he was in the cloud, like it said.
It's a cloud. It's a cloud. Even when you read in the Old Testament, it talks about a pillar of smoke, or to talk about a cloud.
But you just said when you went to the word, it was a vehicle.
He made the cloud his vehicle.
No, so he made the cloud into a vehicle.
Con. No.
So which one is it? He made the cloud into a vehicle, or that's it? He made the cloud into a vehicle.
He's riding in the clouds, brother. It's that simple.
So he's riding in the cloud. Okay, so my question to you is, how would our salvation look then?
Wait, what do you mean?
Have to get there, because if you go back to Revelation where you
no, because I'm saying in terms of how do you believe you're gonna get beat up?
But what does
you said? What does that have to do with anything?
Well, I'm trying to understand.
Says,
yeah, sorry, Yashma.
Shalom. I just want to ask a question. I want to ask a question.
No.
I don't want to throw nobody off. But who's this dude? All praise to the Most High, NC and G.
What's that?
Brother Kawhi? You talking about him?
Is that?
I think you might talk about Ba Hashem.
They talking about
Ba Hashem. Yeah, that's the brother Ba Hashem. Yeah.
He said his way. Let me say something. Let me say something, brother. Because I've seen the number of your videos, right? And I'll give you this, right? And I'm gonna just say this. Every time I go to your videos, now I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with this, and I really don't care. But man to man, bro, all I see you do is make videos about Sha-Ahl. And I'm gonna give an example. I will tell you this: the brothers that y'all see me congregate with on the last live show, we don't subscribe to say JMS has 100% truth. We're not indoctrinated. As you can see, I'm on here and we're going in the scriptures. I'm seeing their perspective and they see my perspective. So don't come on here with no nonsense or no bullshit. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna say no more. And that's it.
With all due respect, he's not on the show right now, so it's just comment board. You don't.
That's
you
cool.
don't really.
That's cool. I just have to address that.
Yeah. So And
you
just
said Leviticus
answer,
16:2.
Salakia, excuse me. I know just to answer, you say you don't believe angels have wings. And that's why Torian was probably asking you about how the setup was. Yo, you supposed to be asleep. Why are you waking up? Anyway, if you're familiar.
I know. I already know, Sean. I already know.
So
I got
young soldier.
angels do have wings. Angels have wings, but not every angel. Every angel don't have to have wings. It's not a limitation of an angel to
Do you
make
have
it
a
an
scripture
angel.
to prove that?
Yeah. You know what a cherubim is? It's not.
You said, do I know what a cherubim is? I was just looking at it yesterday. I actually was just looking at what a cherubim was yesterday. That's so crazy. But you can bring it back to my room.
You know it's funny. It's crazy how this all works too, because the topic that we're talking about, and I kid you not, the Lord works. The Lord, Yahweh and Yahweh Shah always know what they're doing. So let me take you on a quick little circle, real quick circle, right quick. So the whole concept of why you even believe that chariots, aka clouds, or UFOs, are based off of one primary chapter. You may not know it yet, but the way you've been taught this is because of one chapter. It's Ezekiel 1. Ezekiel 1 is where the whole. It may not be for you, but I'm telling you right now, it's been probably injected in your head through other verses. But the people that believe this, that came up with this doctrine, has based it off of Ezekiel 1. That's where this doctrine comes from. Whether you may have gotten it from other scriptures, the people that you also agree with you understand that Ezekiel 1 is the reason where this comes from. And Ezekiel 1 is basically a breakdown of what is uttered throughout the scriptures from the beginning to the end. Thou that dwellest in the midst of the cherubims. That phrase right there, that single phrase. And thou that dwellest in the midst of the cherubims, that's where the whole construct of the Holy Ark of the Covenant is based off. If you take a picture, if you look at a picture, you could Google a picture of the Ark of the Covenant. You have the wingtips of the angels facing towards the inside, the inner portal, inner dimensions of the those cherubim. Those are angels. Yeah, those angels are angels with wings. Also in the most holy of the holy.
Between like on
Go ahead.
Like on the two, like on the like when you see the Ark of the Covenant, like you see like
on the corner.
Like like on the two sides, that's angels right there.
Yeah. Also in Solomon's temple, making its way around the edge of the room, when they describe it, it's angels with wing touching wing around the whole edge.
Okay.
Thou that dwellest in the midst of the cherubim. That's what the whole Ezekiel 1 is based off. It's breaking down the workings of the Lord, of thou that dwellest in the midst of the cherubims. The four living creatures, those are the cherubims. And that's the workings of the Lord. It's giving the workings of the Lord, of how the Lord controls everything. Everything circles and it's encamped around by these four living creatures. These same four living creatures in Revelations. Look, she even knows it. Kind of crew. You know what I'm saying? So these cherubims control the works of the Lord. Go ahead.
But what about when you read verse 16? I feel like that's a description of the chariots. Because it's going into
I know, but it has to all go. Now, if you want to go into it, and because I understand, I have the entire One West version of the Ezekiel 1 breakdown. And when you walk through it, you because I've seen many camps bring out the Ezekiel 1 showing like the alien, I forgot what movie it is, showing the chariots going up and all this, and it sounds so good until you stop it and pause the video and ask questions in between the verses that paints their narrative. So it doesn't make sense when you walk through the chapter.
Hey, can I ask one quick question?
I'm gonna give you an example. Y'all, they call a wheel a circular disc, right? That's the whole point. You have to believe that. You can't believe what you're saying if you don't believe that wheel is the circular disc. What do you call a will in Ezekiel 1? I'll ask you that.
I would say that's describing how the chariots will look.
A will, as in what? You describe that word for me. Put it in more words, because don't just say the word will. I want to know your description of will.
Well, I would because if you I would say like a chariot is like an oval, but on the bottom of it would be wheels.
So it has like landing gear wheels. What do you mean wheels?
I wouldn't say like landing gear wheels, but I
No,
would
I'm
say
not laughing. I'm serious. I'm telling you.
that's
I
a
want to
repetition.
make sure I understand. I'm sorry.
No. I mean, you can laugh. I mean, it's what I think. Anyways, I'm saying I believe that the wheels is like a representation of how it looks.
What wheels? What wheels? What's describing the wheel? What's the wheel? What, for example, I'm gonna give you an example of how vague you're speaking right now. If I say my tire riding on donuts. Now everybody know what that means. But if you spoke a different language and I told you that for the first time and you come to America, you're gonna imagine some glazed freaking dough-like structure with my car sitting on. It's gonna take you some thinking before you can actually make sense of what I'm actually trying to say. That my car is riding on donuts.
In other words, we ask for some adjective.
Yeah, so whenever you saying, when I say a wheel and you repeat the word will back to me, you're not really telling me nothing. And you gotta let me know what you
You're
mean
not
by a wheel,
understanding it.
because I mean, I don't see a dove spinning in the air like a 22 spinners with the caps with the center caps, the floating caps. What is a wheel to you?
You actually read it earlier today too.
And is a UFO a wheel? I know it's a circle. I know I've seen it's a circle, but is it a wheel?
Hold on, let them answer the Sha-Ahl question first. We don't want to throw too much. You gotta do one at a time.
I understand what he's saying, but that's just what I take from it. But I understand what he's trying to say. He's trying to say like that he wants a better explanation for what I'm trying to say.
I'm just listening for it. My bad. Go ahead. I'm just waiting for your answer. I'm listening.
Hey, Salakia.
I'm gonna read it. You go ahead.
Now I was gonna say,
after you say what you said.
Yeah, I was about to say, could we get back more into the
Swift, you breaking up?
Because I got like some precepts to bring out some. I don't want to keep being a question and answer without.
But I didn't even give. I never got my precept. I was just gonna say,
could we bring some scriptures out?
Yeah. I never got my precept to Revelation 18:4 because you said that's not talking about. Hey, wait, what do you actually think that is talking about though? We never said that either.
Read Revelation 18:4 again.
Now look, this
You said read it again.
I'll retract soon as.
But I said I got a precept to that.
My bad, brother. I wasn't trying to ignore you. I'm telling you. Let me say something real quick. Remember, one of the things I iterated multiple times after the last conversation we had about everyone wanting to get their point answered. How the edification gets lost, or you know what I'm saying. So whenever we all come in and we all focus on our own individual points, we ideally have 8 different, well, in this case, it'd be 6 different genders on the board. You know what I'm saying? So it don't really come to one unification. But if y'all just want to move on, that's fine. I'll retract. But
no, that's what I'm saying. Let him answer what you had asked. That's what I was saying. Go back. That's why I was going to tell Elohim.
I was gonna get the precept to Revelation 18:4.
And what is this showing? What is this?
Okay.
What is Revelation 18:4 supposed to be answering?
Answering that they're being taken up into a chariot.
Are you answering me?
No. I'm just because he said that wasn't talking about that. He actually wanted me to read it again.
Okay. See, that's what I mean, guys. See, he's answering you, and I asked him a question. I'm not mad at the brother. It's just between us. If we all believe the same thing, he don't even know who he answering because everybody trying to answer his thing. So he trying to answer you. And I had a question. I was waiting for an answer or clarification, or more so, on what he meant by the will, breaking it down with more words without just saying the word will.
I'll read it.
No,
I'll read it. I'll read it. Okay. I'll read it.
Yeah, I'm not scoffing at you, brother. I'm just trying to just making a point to, like, if we all have questions, we all got to take turns to get them answered. We don't just ask, give you 30 questions to answer at one time. That's not fair. If you just throw you 30 questions, you got to answer all us at the same time and deal with all us at the same time.
No, I understand.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So you want me to answer your question first?
Yeah, please.
This is Ezekiel 1 verse 16. It says the appearance of the wheels and their work was like unto the color of a beryl, and therefore had one likeness, and their appearance and their work was as it were a wheel in the middle of a wheel. So I feel like that's a description of how the chariot would look.
Now pause. Before I even started all this, I told you your whole interpretation has to be proven by Ezekiel 1, and you denied that, and then now you're going here. You find that funny?
No. I said that's not the only scripture I will go to say, that's talking about chariots. Period. I mean, talking about chariots. Yeah.
But I said, in order for you, listen, I can repeat the same words I say without extra words. I can literally say the same statement I said. I said, in order for you to describe that a chariot or a cloud looks like what you call a UFO, you would have to subscribe to the description being in Ezekiel 1. And you denied that. And now, yet, when I ask you, describe what a will mean to you, to your understanding, you're going to Ezekiel 1. You understand?
No, I understand what you're saying. I know, because you said, I forgot what you said. No, you're right on that. I'm saying I forgot exactly what you said. You said something to the effect of, if I'm not mistaken, you said that's probably, you said something about I know that's where you learned that from, or something like that. No, you said something about how One West. You said something about that, but I understand. No, what you're saying is 100% correct. But I'm not something that you said before what you said though.
Yeah, I might have used slightly different words, but basically your understanding of what a chariot and a cloud to have to look like a round disc-shaped flying frisbee has to come from Ezekiel 1. That's the third way I said it. It's the same, and that's why I say I know you have to use Ezekiel 1. That's why I went there. Ezekiel 1 is describing thou that. Okay, now this kind of goes down the point. I don't want to take no brother. I know other brothers want to talk, but once we get on Ezekiel 1, now we got to see what is the book of Ezekiel talking about, and why would chapter 1 be talking about this UFO? What does the UFO have to do with the rest of Ezekiel? Please tell me why Ezekiel is describing flying disc-shaped structures, and what happens to the rest of the book of Ezekiel that's referred to this.
I got a question though, because what is that talking about? Or did you already say it already?
I'm going to answer you if you can relate or ask me what I'm saying. Answer my question first and tell me you don't know, or you haven't connected it yet, or I can give you some answers you could possibly say. But if you don't know, if you got an answer. But if you don't have an answer, just say you don't know, or say you're not sure yet, or you got to read again. I'm giving things you can say if you don't know.
I mean, if I don't know, I'm gonna just say I don't know. So that's why I'm asking.
Okay, so tell me, what does the rest of the chapter, the rest of the 47, 50, we go to 40, 50 chapters of Ezekiel have to do with UFOs?
Well, are you going to interpret the 16th verse for me though?
I'm going. Now you asked. Okay, so you asked me to explain basically the question I asked you, and then you asked me to interpret verse 16. Now,
I'm asking what it's talking
before
about.
I do either one of those, are you going to answer my first question? Or tell me you don't know?
I already said I said I don't know already. I don't know if brothers heard it. I said that already.
All right.
That's why I said how you gonna explain it. I already said that.
Yes, I will explain it, but I didn't look. So just do me a favor. So go to Ezekiel chapter 43, verse 3.
You said what? Go to what?
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 43. It says the 43rd chapter.
Okay.
And the 3rd verse. Now, this FYI, I've never brought this out in any show or nothing like this. So, and I ain't ever heard nobody else ever bring the scripture out to describe this, but this is just what context reading does. This is one of the things I wrote in my notes when I read the book of Ezekiel last time. I was a little 1-2 catch. I kind of like, damn, this shit lines right up, and it makes perfect sense. Well, it don't make perfect sense. It says what it is. 43 and 3.
Back you up too. After that.
Start at 1. Start 43 and 1. All right. Afterward, he brought me to the gate, and even to the gate that looketh toward the east. And behold, the glory of the God of Israel came from the way of the east, and his voice was like the noise of many waters, and the earth shined with his glory. And it was according to the Yashama, you do me a favor, you get Ezekiel 1 and start at verse 1.
I'm already there.
Wait, are you proving? Wait, hold on, before I let you speak. Are you proving that this is what Ezekiel 1:16 is actually talking about, so I can be clear?
Yes. Well, no. That was
you can see.
Well, technically, it's the same thing. We ain't got to 16 yet. We started at the beginning because you get individual pamphlet precepts. You'll be lost on the wind because you have an interpretation of one scripture with no context before and after. So we starting at the front to see what I even asked you about. What does UFOs flying disc metal frisbees have to do with the rest of Ezekiel? And I'm about to show you what deals with 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Everything is being described. It's the same thing. Mama, look, you got to sit over here. So I'm going to read it again. Ezekiel 43. And I'm pick up at 3. And it was according to the appearance of the vision which I saw, past tense, even according to the vision that I saw when I came to destroy the city. And the visions were like the visions that I saw by the river Chabar, the visions that he saw by the river Chabar, and I fell up on my face. Now, what visions were those that he saw by the river Chabar? Ezekiel 1.
I got it. Ezekiel 1, it says, now it came to pass in the 13th year of the 4th month, in the 5th day of the month, as I was among the captives by the river of Chabar,
visions.
The heavens were open, and I saw visions of God.
The visions.
What verse you at? You said Ezekiel 1 and what?
That's Ezekiel 1 and 1.
Mm-hmm.
This is the visions of the destruction of the city of Judah. This is talking about thou that dwellest in the midst of the cherubims, the destruction upon Judah. What is Ezekiel prophesying about? You know the rest. You know what the rest of the books is talking about. Any other? Let's say you're right with Ezekiel 1. Let's just take you're right. Ezekiel 2 through 50. What's the last chapter of Ezekiel? Like 48, 49, 50? Whatever. Let me see. Let me get the exact number because a lot of chapters. 48. Yeah, 48. 2 through 48. From let's say the rest of the books. What's the general spiel of Ezekiel? Because it has to have something to do with at least one of these chapters. And I'm not trying to shine on you. I'm really about to connect with you. Go ahead.
No. I understand what you're saying, but I'm trying to understand where does that link up with the 16th verse though.
You're about to see if you just keep listening. It's already started developing But I think right now you're still holding on to your interpretation of everything. So there's really no room for it to start really settling in. And I'm telling you right now, I used to teach what you teach or what you believe. I used to teach what you believe. I understand what you believe, and I understand what I understand now. You only understand what you believe. You're trying to understand me. So more questions, the more I'm going to talk. I don't have a problem talking. I'll answer everything you ask me, but I want to just try to go through steps to even get to where, you know, I need to know what you're not getting or what you didn't hear or what you're not receiving as we go. Before I don't want to just talk. Like a lot of people just talk for 20, 30 minutes and expect you just to get everything. Like sometimes you got to slow down, you know? So basically, quick 1-2. I just not showed you what Ezekiel is seeing in a vision, and he described it as the destruction of the angels about to destroy the city. And now he connected it. He told you it was the vision that he saw at Chabar. That he saw. What vision he saw? Ezekiel 1:1. So this is the vision of the destruction, but he's seen it. He's seen a vision of it first. This is the vision that's taking place. Okay, so this is the vision of the destruction that's taking place. That's taking place in the latter chapters of Ezekiel. So that's why
I agree with that. I agree with that part because you linked it up. You linked what was it? Ezekiel 43 and 1 with Ezekiel 1:1, right? 43
correct.
or 1:1, right?
Yeah, and I don't like to use individual scriptures and chapter links. I just stopped at verse 3 to show you the vision that he spoke of, just to connect the vision part. That was the vision. But we know the whole chapter 1, he's describing the same, whatever he's describing, it's the same vision. And we know chapter 43, he's starting to talk about the vision in reference to what's happening in 43. So
I go agree with that.
So this is what I'm saying. If you're not familiar with what you need? Here, you need this. Here you go. If you're not familiar with the ministry, or you won't call it ministry, because he's technically serving Israel still. He's prophesying to them. If you're not familiar with Ezekiel's main point, what he's doing in the concerns of Israel at this time, that's the main link to what I can't really tell you. I could give you a general spiel, but that's the main link of what Ezekiel 1 is talking about. And just to give you a general spiel, and I'm gonna retract because everybody else can kind of get their points. But just to give you a general spiel, your whole doctrine is based off of this. This is what the disc flight frisbee metal objects are based off of. There's really nothing else. You got scriptures that support this because they stack on top of it. But it's like I always say, it's like Jenga. You can always put a block on top of another block, and it seems to fit. But at the end, you got a bunch of holes in your tower. And the higher you stack that tower, at some point, it's going to just topple over because there's no strong foundation on it. That's how the scriptures work. You can build in the wrong direction fast, and stuff is stacking, link and this and that, because it's a bunch of linking catchphrases and catchwords. But we don't have no linking. You can always. So basically, I'm gonna give you a quick rundown of what's going on. Ezekiel is prophesying the destruction by Nebuchadnezzar. Nebuchadnezzar came through and ran havoc. Ezekiel was the third wave that Nebuchadnezzar came in on. Because he came in Judah on like 3 waves. It wasn't just one immediate time. It was like 3 waves. And Ezekiel is one of the prophets that's prophesying what's about to happen. So yet the vision that Ezekiel saw was a spiritual vision. You know how in Acts when Peter saw the 4 beasts descending down in a sheep knit with all these unclean animals and all this? Well, it's like that. It was a metaphorical. It wasn't a direct vision. Well, he's seeing thou that dwellest in the midst of the cherubim, the four beasts, and the glory, not the Yahweh. Listen, and I think it even says in like verse 3 from I ain't read Ezekiel 1 in a minute, bro. I ain't gonna lie. But it says the glory is a like manner or something like that in there at some point.
And I would agree. I would agree that
Yeah.
I will agree that.
Oh, verse 4. Look.
And then talking about the destruction, because
Look. Watch. Let me read it. See,
verse
I
4.
still remember it. See. I don't remember the Bible. I used to remember the Bible by precepts. That's when I was the most jacked up. But now I remember the Bible by context. So even if I forget where something at, I know about where it's at and how to find it when I start reading the words. So verse 4, it says, look.
The scripture says go precept upon precept, though, but people go ahead.
Yeah, but it also says line upon line too. And everyone forgets that part for some reason when they quickly quote that scripture. So let me read verse 4. And I looked, and behold, a whirlwind came out of the north. What is the north? In the firmament in which we live, the north is also referred to as up. A great cloud and a fire enfolding itself with a brightness was about it, and out of the mist there was as the color of amber out of the midst of the fire. Also out of the mist thereof came the likeness of 4 creatures out of the same fire. Thou that dwellest in the midst of the cherubims. That's the whole context of everything you're about to read. The very reason why you think Israel's walking around with the Ark of the Covenant, with the structure and shape, the most holy thing that Israel possessed, with four cherubim sitting on the 4 corners. Ezekiel seeing a vision of this. That's what this chapter is talking about. And then everyone want to make it into a Hollywood sci-fi movie with goddamn aliens, sci-fi, Star Wars, everything in Dragon Ball Z, Space Jam, everything that Israel watch on TV is always something they want to make into the scriptures. It has nothing to do with this. And the proof of that is Ezekiel 43. He referenced the vision of the destruction by Yahweh, by the living creatures. The same one that holds the 4 corners of this earth up on those 4 pillars. Everything is controlled through the workings. But I definitely go ahead.
I could agree with that. I could go.
But I definitely
with that.
Okay, I definitely encourage you to read the book of Ezekiel from front to back, line upon line, before you start precepting it, and I guarantee you it'll start making so much more sense. And with that, I'll retract, and I'll let the brothers get it from y'all.
I'll go ahead and say, the brother you read a precept to that, verse 16 earlier. We was talking about every man having his appointed time.